Yeah, he's more mature now, but I think the overall attitude is the same. After the Duffy fight, he was in the gym on Monday, and if you look at his record, I believe he fought 8 to 10 weeks later. After that, it was a quick turnaround anyway. And that's how Conor deals with these things. He wants to get back in, he wants to train, and he loves competing, regardless of the result. He's got a lot of catchphrases, but that one, humble in victory or defeat, is truth. It's how he lives himself. He will build it up and put on a great show, and win or lose, it's humble in victory or defeat. Yeah, a little bit. That was pretty much all I said in between rounds. Was you don't have to take him out with one shot. There's no need to load up on that big hand. I think it's Faraz that calls it the touch of death.
Right.
It's a good name for it, but we also don't want to only rely on that. And if there is something to critique and something to take away from that fight, I mean, I think Conor almost immediately said it much better than I'm going to be able to say it. Is that he was inefficient with his shots, and Nate was efficient, and that's what I was trying to get across, and that's what we saw happen. He kind of blew himself a little bit, trying to take his head off with every single left hand rather than just landing it. Not too much. I mean, his sparring partners would vary in height, and wouldn't be unusual to face that. I think the same stance and Nate's technical knowledge of protecting himself with his lead shoulder and moving with the shots, and that combined with Conor loading up and being a little bit inefficient with his shots, made him tired. I went in between rounds, and I'm with Conor a long, long time, and I've seen him do an inordinate amount of rounds in the gym, and I've never seen him breathe heavy.
Wow.
And when I went in, it was clear he was breathing heavy, and I was a bit taken aback by that. It was a surprise for me, but it was because of what he, like I said, I'm echoing what he said much better, that it was a case of being inefficient. When it's a 25-minute fight and going up a weight class, you got to accept that you got to move in such a way that you can keep going for those 25 minutes, and that's not what he did. I think there was a good left cross, and it kind of stumbled Conor back. It probably looked like a wobbling, but I really think it was kind of exhaustion at this stage. He looked really, really tired, and they kind of had a bit of a slugfest, a bit of a back and forward, and at that stage it was clear he was very, very tired. And if there's one thing you're never going to say about a Diaz brother, is that he gets tired. He just has that incredible ability just to keep going and keep pushing himself, and they're phenomenal athletes, the two of them. So when I saw that tiredness and him being pushed back, it was, of course, that was when there was worry. Absolutely not. I don't think that what life is for is playing safe and not biting off more than you can chew. If you're not biting off more than you can chew, you need to chew harder. I'm super proud of him. Right now this is the biggest thing in my life. Traveling to these fights and living this life. It's amazing. But the professional side of mixed martial arts might fade away from me, but teaching martial arts never will. And I have a big kids program at home, and we're raising them. We tell them, our phrases, we win or we learn, and I'm encouraging them to take chances and step on the competition mat and not let people on the sidelines affect them, that if they do stumble, not to make them feel silly, because I want those kids to grow up to be like that about whatever they do. So it would be a lie for me to say I had anything else other than the utmost respect for Conor for what he did, and regardless of the result, I think he did the right thing. This is what we should be doing, and this is what we're living in, a golden era of mixed martial arts right now. Look at that press conference. I had goosebumps watching that the other day. Look at the lineup coming up over the next few months. Look how often the belts are changing hands. And what does that tell you? That tells you that the best are fighting the best week in, week out. Well, I'm a huge boxing fan. I love watching boxing, but I love more in the 90s and the 80s when there was these great fights happening every other week. Now it seems pretty rare for it to happen. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm a big fan. I love watching it. But in mixed martial arts, we're spoiled. We're getting the best fighting the best. Not really. Like just look at his record. Him and his brother. They have that style. They just seem to have. They're like a Terminator. They can get badly hurt and still just keep marching forward. So I wasn't that surprised. That he did look like he got fairly banged up. But they're not stopping until they're absolutely unconscious or choked out. That's the only way you put away one of those guys. So a little bit more efficiency in the shots, and I think points wise it was going well in round one anyway. But toughness wise, no, it was never a doubt that's how it was going to be. If he didn't put them away, they were going to keep coming. He was going to keep coming. I don't think the weight made any difference. If it was 155, I don't think it would have made a difference. If you're facing somebody like that and you were inefficient, that's what the result is going to be, regardless. So I don't think that played a part. I think Nate was the better guy on the night, and he won. And congratulations to him and his team. It's weird to me that somebody would think that, considering what he does for a living. Come down to the gym, come and train with him. Like, look at what he's doing. He's getting in with the most dangerous unarmed people on the planet and fighting in limited rules, full contact. I don't know how you could get more brave than that. I've massive respect for what Holly did, but I would not really like my fighters to not tap to something. When that's a checkmate move, when that's in, it's over. There's no real reward for risking your health for not tapping to a locked-in submission. That to me is just a sign of that's just an intelligent way of doing things. Like I said, I want the media to spin that, and I'm remarking on how anybody else does things. I'm just saying, from Conor's perspective and from mine, if you're a professional MMA fighter, there's not much tougher jobs than that in the world, and that to me is bravery. But to let your arm break or let yourself be choked unconscious and risk damage, I would not like any of my guys to do that. No, I would push for that. I would like him back in. That's what he's driven to do. He's not the guy to go off to sit on a beach for a couple of weeks. He's just not that way. Everything he does is a million miles an hour. His brain works fast, his body works fast, and he's not particularly hurt. No injuries from the fight, no suspension or anything like that. So, a little bit of a rest, and then I have a lot of ideas in my head and a lot of things that I took away from that fight, and I'm very excited to work on that and carry on the journey. And the story is not told yet, my friend. We will be back.